Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we are looking at what is the best EDC loadout that you can get at Walmart for under $60. And my reason behind this was kind of twofold. The first is, if you're just getting into EDC, you want to see if, this is something that you can do, you want to do. Good way to get into it without a whole lot invested. And the other is, say that you're traveling and you forget one or several of these things and you want to go pick some up but not spend a bunch of money because you're just traveling and you want to have it while you're traveling. So between those two things, I thought this was a something that would be worth looking at. So the three things that I wanted in doing this were a knife, a multi-tool, and a flashlight. Obviously, plenty of people EDC more than that, but I figured it's a good core EDC loadout to get started with. So without further ado, I'm going to get into what I chose. The first one you may recognize just from that, but this is the Ozark Trail Crossbar Lock knife. Now, this one, I've seen it called the Wug Out for the Walmart Bug Out or the Fake Out for the Fake Bug Out. But this was kind of almost a meme in the knife community. It was really hard to find for a while just because everybody was trying to track it down and find it. And people were selling them for 2 or 3 times what they actually sold for at Walmart online. So it was kind of a whole thing. But what you get for $9.97, which is probably one of the best parts of this, is a 3.3-inch D2 steel blade. So something to be aware of is if you're in a restrictive state, it is longer than, the 3-inch blade laws. That's probably one of the more common ones. You get a crossbar lock as described. It does have full liners, unlike the actual Bug Out that it is most certainly modeled after. But yeah, for $9.97, getting D2 steel, that's really a hard deal to beat. So that is the knife that I picked. There are certainly other knives, some cheaper, some a little bit more expensive, but I think this is probably the best bang for your buck as far as what you get when you're shopping at Walmart for a knife. A folding knife, at least. So the next thing on the list was a multi-tool, and there are actually two that I picked out. This is the one that is my preferred, but I'm going to bring out the other one here in a minute. But this is the SOG Powerpint. As you can see, this is a 5th pocket-size multi-tool, but it is an 18-in-1 multi-tool, and I am showing the diagram here just so you can see all the tools that are in the Powerpint, because there are quite a few and you probably don't want to just sit here and listen to me list them off. But I think the coolest feature on this multi-tool is actually right here. And what that is, it is a slot for a hex bit. So you can slide a hex bit in there and hold it together here and use it as a screwdriver. The only thing I wish is maybe they had a spot on board to carry a hex bit or 2 hex bits, like maybe a flat on this side, a Phillips on this side, or something like that, just because without having someplace on it to carry it, it's kind of, whatever. But it is a really cool feature that you could really use in a pinch if you need to. The other cool thing about these is the compound leverage pliers. So this system, you can see it's a little bit different from just your standard hinge on pliers. And what that does, it allows you to get more torque or force going down when you're using the pliers. So that's a really cool design element as well. And for $37.96, I really think it's a pretty solid deal. Now, one of the things about that is when you go into Walmart, these actually will be listed or tagged at $49. But if you order online and pick up in store, you get the cheaper $37.96 price. And I'm not sure exactly why that is. I talked to the associate that was there, and he said, yeah, I think they're just trying to get people to buy online more, but you can buy online and have it shipped to you, or you can buy online and pick up in store and still get that cheaper price. So $37.96 for this. This was by far the most expensive part of the loadout, but you get, as I mentioned, 18-in-1 multi-tool for that. And I will say the knife on this, which is right here, is very sharp. And how do I know that? I think you can still see the cut there. One of the earlier takes, I was opening it up, and that's how I ended up getting that. So that is the SOG Powerpint. The other option that I'll just go over briefly is the Gerber Suspension NXT. Now, this is actually the older version, which is just the Gerber Suspension. The NXT is extremely similar. The main difference is that it has a set of pliers, or not pliers, a pocket clip here. And that was one of the things I wanted in my EDC multi-tool because I didn't want to have to carry it in a sheath or anything like that. So the NXT has a pocket clip here, and I will also bring up the diagram for that one so you can see all the different tools that it has. It is a 15-in-1 multi-tool and has spring-loaded pliers as opposed to the compound leverage pliers on the SOG. And this is a standard size. You can see next to each other, it is definitely a larger multi-tool than the SOG, so you're not going to be able to carry this in your fifth pocket like you would the Powerpint. So just something to consider there. But if you want a full size set of pliers or just a larger set of pliers, however you want to describe it, the Gerber Suspension NXT would be a very good option. But the SOG is definitely my preference between the two. So last but not least, we have the light. And this is the Energizer LED Pen Light. It doesn't have a fancy name or anything like that, but this is $8.97. And for $8.97, you get a 115 lumen LED light. And what I thought was really cool, especially for under $10, you get a UV light. And if you've ever been looking for something that shines in UV light, this can be really, really nice to help find things. And it has other purposes too, but now this doesn't have any of the fancy modes that say a stream light or an O light will. It doesn't have different levels of brightness or anything like that. And when you are using it, when you turn it on and off, it just switches between those two modes. So it's not like you can quickly select it. Although when you have it on, if you want to quickly switch, if you do a tail tap, it'll switch between them. So that is, at least you don't have to click it all the way off. So, but yeah, for $8.97, if you're just trying to do EDC on a budget, I think this is a great option. So when you do the math on those, the total comes out, if you get the SOG multi-tool, which is the setup that I have here, it is $54.81. And if you do the Gerber, which I showed here a little bit ago, it is $56.90. So both of those will come in at under $60 before taxes. Depending on the taxes in your area, they may still come in actually under the $60 mark still, but before taxes, both of those loadouts come in under $60. So that was my budget Walmart EDC loadout. But what's yours? Is there something that I missed? Is there a knife that you think would be better than the meme knife? Is there a pair of multi-tool or a pair of plier multi-tools that I missed? I didn't look super deep into all of them because I was really looking for a pocket clip, but if that's not a big deal for you, there are probably some better options out there. And with the flashlight, I just kind of looked through the shelf of flashlights, found one that I thought looked good and picked it out. But I am by no means an expert on flashlights. So if there's a flashlight that you think that on a budget would be fantastic from Walmart, please let me know down below. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and leave a like. And until next time, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I will see you in the next video.